Welcome back to Team Adams Teaching. Today it's volume of a sphere that we're looking for. Kind of a tricky one, not common. It uses a lot of things we don't normally use in formulas, like to the third power or cubed. But here it is. If you want to find out how much space is inside of a sphere, the formula for it is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. And that's the one thing you have to really pay attention to. A lot of people try and square the number by accident because they're so used to doing that in other formulas. Again, this formula is often written as 4/3 times pi times radius cubed, but I often like to just put the 4 up top with everything, the 3 on the bottom, and it tends to help students when they're doing their calculations. So let's take a look. We have this ball here. It has a radius of 6, diameter of 12. We don't have to worry about height on these things because, well, we already know the radius and the diameter. And we substitute those numbers in. So I've got 4 times 3.14 times 6 cubed, all divided by 3. So when it comes to 6 cubed, don't forget that that just means 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times itself 3 times. And when you do that, you end up with 216. And so now I'm going to use that in my formula. So I've got 4 times 3.14 times 216 divided by 3. 216 is divisible by 3. If you didn't know that, you could just multiply all this out and then divide by 3. But since it is divisible by 3, I'm going to do that now. 216 divided by 3 is 72. And so my last step is going to be 4 times 3.14 times 72. Because that's all I have left. And the answer is going to be 904.32. The units here were meters, and because it is volume, we have cubed for this sphere. All right, don't be scared of the word problems. They are just like the picture problems, except they tell you in words what's there. This one, the diameter of a soccer ball is 22 centimeters. What is its volume? They told me diameter and 22. So my diameter is 22. Half of that would be our radius, which is 11. And we don't have to worry about height. So here we go. Volume equals 4/3 pi times radius cubed. Again, there's that cubed, not squared. Okay. 4 times 3.14 times 11 cubed divided by 3. Side note, 11 cubed is the same as 11 times 11 times 11. 11 times 11, 121. And 121 times 11 is 1,331. So we'll use that now. 4 times 3.14 times 1,331, all divided by 3. And again, we can just go ahead if you know how to divide these really quickly, great. Otherwise, just multiply straight across the numerator. You should end up with 16,717.36 divided by 3. And when we're done with that, that is the same thing as 5,572.4533. Could keep going. This is just an approximate answer. You could round it at the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth if you'd rather. Units, centimeters, and cubed because it's volume. And so there's our answer there. You could also leave pi in terms of pi. In this case, you'd end up with 1,774.6 times pi as your answer. All right, now that we know how to do all these different volume problems, we have volume of an ice cream cone. All right, it's a perfect half sphere, of course, and a cone. In this case, we have dimensions of the radius here is 8, which means my diameter is 16. The height of the whole thing is 10 for the cone, although again, we don't need that for our sphere. So now we're going to split this up into 2 pieces. We're going to find the volume of our cone, the volume of the sphere, put them together, and we'll have the volume of the whole thing. So let's start with our half sphere. The volume for our half sphere is going to be volume equals, and it's going to be 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. But then I have to cut that in half, divided by 2. If it's divided by 2, and we make that a fraction, and then we multiply by its reciprocal, you'll find that this is actually going to be 4 pi radius cubed divided by 2 times 3 is 6. So that's going to be the formula we end up using because we only have half a sphere and not a full thing. Putting the numbers in, we get 4 times 3.14. Our radius here is 8, so we're going to do 8 cubed divided by 6, although that's unusual. 8 cubed is 512, so now we're at 4 times 3.14 times 512 divided by 6. And again, multiplying these out, we get 6,430.72 divided by 6. And I'm going to write the answer over here. We're running out of room. So the volume for this would be 1,071.7866 approximately centimeters cubed. And that's just for the half sphere. At least we have that. Then we also have to go back and find the volume of the cone. So this one, volume of a cone, would be base, area of the base times height divided by 3. Area of a base, well, this is a circle, so it's pi times radius squared times the height divided by 3. That's going to give us 3.14 times 8 squared times 10, which is our height, divided by 3, or 3.14 times 64 times 10 divided by 3. And as we go through, we multiply everything in the numerator. We get 2009.6 divided by 3. And finally, when we divide it, we get 669.86 repeating. So at that point, that is our cone's volume. And so at this point, now we have to put the two together and we'll have the volume of the whole thing. So over here, total volume is going to be 1,071.7866 plus 669.8, and let's round it to 7, since that's technically what we have. And we're going to add all those up. We get 1,741.5, 6566. And again, we're at centimeters, and it's cubed for volume. And there it is. It's kind of a big problem here. Hopefully you don't have too many of these. So that is the total volume for this cone here. All right, guys, later.